who's an expert on frequencies and pitch. And he's going to talk to us about the speech range frequencies. We start out, when you're hearing my voice, it's coming out of a frequency range of around 125 hertz up to around 6,000 hertz. And hertz is cycles per second. We hear, as humans, around 20 cycles per second, all the way up to 20,000 cycles per second, or hertz. But speech range is really in the around 125 hertz, being real low, all the way up to 6,000, which is real high as far as the frequency or pitch is concerned. So go ahead and turn off the lights and let's put on last year the clip with Sergeant Bully.
Stop it right here. Go ahead, Sergeant, get the lights. I'm going to stop here and explain the speech range because it's the primary reason to bulletproof our hearing. I have in front of me what is called an audiometer. It's a tool we use to determine how well one hears. You all had the hearing test with one of these as part of your physical prior to enlistment. Now, we hear speech from the range of about 500 to upwards of 6,000 hertz. Now, I'm talking about here specifically tone, or some of you may more closely identify with it as pitch, okay? Now, from 500 to 6,000 hertz. Hertz equals cycles of a completed sound wave. 1 hertz is 1 cycle of a completed sound wave. So 500 hertz is 500 cycles of a completed sound wave per second. The fewer the sound waves, the lower the tone or the pitch. So in the low tones of speech, we hear the stronger, more pressure sounds like b, d, p, and we also hear the vowel sounds a, e, I, o, u. And in the higher end of speech, the higher tones, we hear the consonants, sounds like f, sh, t, s, k. These are very soft sounds as we actually enunciate or pronounce a word. It is unfortunately, though, unfortunately in the mid to high range that we are most apt to lose our hearing due to that enemy and destroyer we call loud noise. It is noise-induced loss that is also technically known as sensory narrow hearing loss. The result of this type of loss can leave one with only partial understanding. And now, we can't have that here. Now, as you know, it is imperative to our communication here that we understand one another. So right now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate going from the low tone of 500 hertz and I'm going to go all the way up to 6,000 hertz. And I want you to keep in mind this is a pure tone, basically an isolated tone, but it is reflective in as much as a measurement as to those tones found in human speech. Of course, the sounds that we hear when we hear somebody else talking. Okay, here we go. Now this is what you hear. The tone is at 500 hertz. Now we're switching to 1,000. Okay, now we're going to switch over now to 2,000. Okay, now I'm switching to 4. And I'll take us on up here, switching now to 6,000 hertz. Okay, go ahead now, roll film.
Everybody hollering, turn it down, turn it down.
All right, and that was Sergeant Bully. And I'm going to conclude right now by saying Helen Keller was a woman who lived some time back. She was both deaf and blind. And when the question was posed to her of those two senses, if she could have either her sight or her hearing, which would she prefer, she chose her hearing. And she said the reason was because sight keeps you away from things, but hearing keeps you away from people. And I would really think that Helen Keller would know what she's talking about. All I'm asking is that you really consider how precious your hearing is and never take it for granted. I believe that your hearing is your most precious sense. So right now, I'd like to say on behalf of everyone here, myself, and of course Gary Wolf for making this course possible, thank you all for attending. I hope this information's been useful and you just take away perhaps a new appreciation of your hearing. So I guess that's it. Class dismissed. You should be all excited. What? Well, I can't hear you. Oh, I need to put in my hearing aids. I'm afraid I didn't get this class when I first started here in the military. I wish I would have. I would have sure done things different. Thank you.
Hello again, this is Kevin. I sure hope you enjoyed that class and found it informative. The class was actually audio that is from the audiobook Hearing Loss and Loss Prevention. It covers way more than just the prevention part. That's just what you got in the class. Hearing Loss and Loss Prevention is available for sale at All Ears Hearing Products and Services website. Again, that's www.allearsinfo.com. And a complimentary copy of Hearing Loss and Loss Prevention will be given upon request to anyone who purchases any custom-fit earplugs from All Ears Hearing Products and Services. Hearing Loss and Loss Prevention is an audio guide to better hearing health. You'll be amazed at how much you'll learn about good hearing health and what to do if you have hearing loss, as well as how to prevent hearing loss in the first place. As you listen to this hearing health information audio spoken by the author, Gary Kevin Wolf, you will feel as if you have a good and kind friend who is an expert in the hearing health care field right in your home to answer in a jovial, caring, and motivating fashion virtually every question you could have about hearing in general. Hearing Loss and Loss Prevention, an audio guide to better hearing health for the entire family. I'm Gary Kevin Wolf, again the owner of All Ears Hearing Products and Services, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.